So if you're observing me in my rearview mirror, how are you able to see how close I'm driving behind another car?
I can't determine how close your tires are
And how are you able to do that?
by looking at it.
No other car was in front of me other than the police officer. I looked in my rearview mirror and I'm like, he is driving so close to me. Like, I could not see his tires. If I would have put on my brakes, he would have hit me in the back of my car.
The second this hearing kicks off, you can feel the energy shift because the officer thought this would be a routine ticket, but instead he walked into a legal ambush. The defendant didn't show up. She showed up loaded with facts, timelines, and receipts that cut through his testimony like a scalpel. Watching him try to answer her calmly framed questions is like watching someone drown in slow motion. The judge barely had to intervene because the officer kept tripping over his own words, and the wildest part was that this wasn't even aggressive. She stayed cool the whole time while his case unraveled piece by piece. It's the kind of moment that makes you wonder how many tickets would collapse if more people actually fought back. So I've got to ask, are we looking at public safety here or just revenue dressed up in a uniform? Let's go ahead and dive in.
Lieutenant Carey, raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true? All right, you can put your hand down, sir. All right, Ms. Steele, you understand that you have the right to ask questions of any witnesses brought by the state. The state has the burden of proving the case against you beyond a reasonable doubt. You do not have to give any testimony or evidence against yourself. You have a Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination, and the state needs to prove the case beyond a reasonable doubt. All right, do you understand?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Tipton, you may introduce your witness.
Yes, Your Honor. Lieutenant Carey, please state your name for the Zoom call.
Lieutenant Jonathan Carey.
All right. And Lieutenant Carey, how are you currently employed?
Currently the lieutenant for the Clayton County Sheriff's Office Black Hawk Traffic Unit.
And how long have you been with the Clayton County Sheriff's Office?
The Sheriff's Office, probably a little over 2 years.
And you have prior experience before that, correct?
Yes, I was with the Clayton County Police for about 4 or 5 years.
Okay. And during that time, both with the Sheriff's Office and the police department, have you been post-certified?
Yes.
Okay. And being post-certified, are you authorized to investigate crimes, issue citations, and make arrests based on your investigations?
Yes, I am.
Okay, then. So I want to bring your attention to March 20th of 2024. Were you working for the Clayton County Sheriff's Department at that time?
Yes.
And were you on duty that day?
Yes, I was.
Okay. Did you at any point in time have occasion to make contact or initiate a traffic stop with a white Chevrolet Trax that was driven by Miss Sydney Steele?
Yes.
Okay. Can you tell me about what drove you to or what caused you to initiate contact with Miss Steele?
Yes. So during my role during the day, I look for erratic lane changes, reckless drivers, speeders. So while traveling on Fair Boulevard, passing over 88, I was monitoring traffic in my rearview mirror. I observed a white SUV changing several lanes, not giving the public enough notice that she was changing lanes, nor was the vehicle using a turn signal. I observed the vehicle getting closer to me as she was changing lanes. She was also following another vehicle too close. Once she changed from lanes two back to lane one several times, she passed me. I'm sorry, from lane three to lane two, she passed me in lane three. And that's when I conducted a traffic stop on that vehicle and spoke with the driver. While speaking with the driver, she advised that she was in a hurry to get to Atlanta because she had a hair appointment.
Okay. You say she didn't use any turn signals. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. And what was the basis of the following too close?
She was following another vehicle too close as she was changing lanes.
Based on your knowledge, your training, and your experience, as well as what you observed, was that a safe maneuver for her to make?
No, it was not.
Would a reasonably prudent driver have followed that closely?
No. And if that vehicle in front of her would have slammed on the brakes, she would have been at fault, and that definitely probably would have caused an accident.
Okay. And with the improper lane change, was there anything improper? Tell me about what was improper about that lane change besides just the signal.
So when you change lanes, you have to give the public enough notice that you're about to change lanes, which she failed to do
Okay.
several times, not just one time.
Okay. So about how many lane changes did you observe?
I believe I observed 3. So she went from the number 3 lane to the number 2 lane, then back to the number 3 lane.
Okay. It's occurring in Clayton County?
Yes, it did.
Okay. I have no further questions at this time.
All right, Ms. Steele, did you have any questions of Lieutenant Carey?
Yes.
Go ahead, ma'am.
So you said that you were observing me in your rearview mirror when I
Correct.
did all of these okay. So if you're observing me in my rearview mirror, how are you able to see how close I'm driving behind another car? If you're looking in your rearview mirror, you would see the car that's in front of me. You wouldn't be able to see my car.
I can see your car and the car in front of you.
Got you. So how are you able to determine how close my tires were to the trunk of the car in front of me?
I can't determine how close your tires are, but I can determine how close your bumper is to their rear bumper
And how are you able to do that?
by looking at it.
And what did you see? How close was I? If you had to guesstimate.
You're less than a car length behind them.
Less than a car length?
Correct.
And this was another car and this was not your car?
Correct.
Okay. I don't have any more questions for you.
This is where it gets uncomfortable because the defense wasn't just clever, it was surgical. She forced the officer to outline exactly what he believed he saw, and the moment he said it was from the next lane over, the whole thing imploded. Think about that. How do you accuse someone of tailgating when you weren't even behind them? That's like trying to call a foul in basketball from the parking lot. The defense strategy here is simple but devastating. Corner him with precision until his testimony collapses under its own vagueness. And you can feel the judge's patience thinning with every unclear answer. From a legal standpoint, evidence has to be direct, not assumed. Hunches don't win cases, they just waste the court's time. And the real sting here is how avoidable this all was. If this was about actual reckless driving, the officer should have had video, dash cam, something concrete. But instead, we're stuck with shaky observations that look a lot more like ticket padding than justice. That's the kind of thing that makes jurors, defendants, and the public lose faith in the process. The courtroom isn't supposed to be a guessing game, it's supposed to be proof against defense. And when proof is missing, everything else falls apart.
All right, anything else, Mr. Tipton?
Briefly, Your Honor. Lieutenant Carey, was your view of the car immediately in front obstructed?
No.
Was your view of Miss Steele's vehicle obstructed?
No.
Which lane were you in, sir?
I was in the number 2 lane.
Okay. And which lane did you observe the vehicle in when it was following too close?
Number 3.
Okay. Would you say that?
Well, when she was following too close, she was in the number 2 lane as well.
Okay.
She went from the number 3 lane to the number 2 lane, followed the car too close, and then switched back to the number 3 lane.
Okay. Were there multiple cars that she followed too close to, or just the one?
Just the one.
Okay. Okay. And so you had an unobstructed view of her front bumper and the rear bumper of the car immediately in front of her, correct?
Correct, by using my side mirror at the time.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. No further questions.
All right,
I do have just one more question.
go ahead.
What was the kind of car that I was driving behind?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Do you remember the color?
No, I don't.
Okay. I don't have any more questions.
All right. Did the state have any additional witnesses to present?
No, Your Honor. State's going to rest this time.
All right, Ms. Steele, did you wish to present evidence and testimony?
Yes.
All right, you understand that you're not required to present any evidence or testimony?
Yes.
All right, you're waiving your right to remain silent in order to offer evidence and testimony?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true?
Yes.
All right, you can put your hand down. Go ahead, tell me what you need me to know.
Okay, so the day this happened, I stopped at the gas station. At the time, I was 6 months pregnant. I stopped at the gas station, grabbed some water. I get out of the gas station. I turn right. As soon as I turn right, I turn into a light. I pulled behind the police officer. No other car was in front of me other than the police officer. When the light changed, it's like he wasn't moving. So I put my signal on to get in the lane to the right of me. I got in the lane to the right of me. He then got in the lane behind me. And I looked in my rearview mirror and I'm like, he is driving so close to me. Like, he was so close. I could not see his tires. This is why I asked these questions, because in driver's training, they teach you have to at least be able to see the car's tires behind you. So that's how I was able to determine that he was driving too close to me. It was not a car length behind me. So then I'm like, okay. So I put my signal on, get back in the left lane. He gets back in the left lane. So I'm like, what is happening right now? Like, I was so confused as to what's happening. I'm like, am I in his way? What's going on? So then I did get back into the right lane. And when I went to get into the right lane, that's when he turned his light on and pulled me over. And I was confused as to, one, why he chose to do that. Because like I said, I was just confused. And he asked me, I asked him, why did you pull me over? And he said, are you in a hurry or something like that? And I was like, well, I'm trying to get to my hair appointment because I was going to get my hair done for my baby shower. And he's like, okay, and then asked for my information. And when he came back and told me, one, driving too close, I'm like, how was I driving too close when I pulled up behind you at a red light? So I literally was not driving. You weren't driving. The light was red. And then when the light changed colors, you didn't really take off. So I'm like, okay, let me get out of this man's way because I have somewhere I have to go. And clearly he does not. So that's when I got over. And also, I have a 2024 Chevy Trax. My car, you literally cannot switch lanes without putting your signal on because it will jerk you back into your lane. So for one, I don't change lanes, especially while I was 6 months pregnant, without giving anybody proper notice, because I wouldn't want to put myself or my son in danger. And then that's why I also asked, what was the car? Because, there literally was not another car in front of me other than him. And then when I got over, for him to see all of these different lane changes, he was right behind me. And I did switch lanes that many times because he was driving so close up on my bumper to where he was correct. If I would have put on my brakes, he would have hit me in the back of my car.
Any questions, Mr. Tipton?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Anything else, Ms. Steele?
No, ma'am. No, Your Honor.
Okay. Argument?
State will submit on the facts, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Steele, I found you not guilty of the offenses before the court. Each of you are given testimony in this case. Each person has submitted sworn testimony without additional evidence. Neither testimony has greater weight than the other. Therefore, the court is not able to determine beyond a reasonable doubt that you committed an offense in this case and finds you not guilty on both offenses.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So in the end, this case didn't just fall apart, it collapsed like a cheap folding chair. The defendant walked out untouched while the officer's credibility took a public hit. And here's the uncomfortable truth. Tickets like this don't just vanish quietly, they leave behind a bigger mess. Because every time one of these weak cases gets tossed, it fuels the idea that the system isn't built for fairness, it's built for volume. Instead of cutting down on dangerous drivers, courts get clogged with flimsy citations that should have never made it past the stop. That's not only insufficient, it's corrosive to trust. And once trust erodes, even legitimate enforcement starts looking questionable to the average person. That's the ripple effect of bad policing on paper. It stains the good with the same brush. So what do you think? Was this officer just sloppy, or was it the system itself nudging him to write a ticket that didn't belong? Let me know your take in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.